Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's on Steam. So, on the last Let's Play, Sovy told us who the mole was. It was everyone. Everyone's the mole. Everyone lied to me and gave information to the Triumvirate. Actually, that's a lie. It was Ulrich and Pro. But I also feel like that's even putting it a bit too far, because it's like, well, Ulrich's a mole because he used to work for the Triumvirate like a long time ago, being the ex-Inquisitor. And it's like, well, he told us he worked for them at some point, and you're not really a mole if you used to work for them and then you didn't. Pro, on the other hand, pretty much was the definition of the mole, because to try and get information about his parents, the Triumvirate was like, hey, we'll give you this information if you tell us about the rebellion, at which point he gave the Triumvirate some things, and then that proceeded up into telling the Triumvirate where our base was. At which point, Pro, you stupid dude. At which point he's like, well, I guess they're not going to give me any more information, so it's like, stop being the mole. But seriously, you ain't going to warn any of us that, I don't know, you're telling the enemy where exactly we are? Idiot. Anyways, then we had a little group talk, and Sovy was like, hey, I kind of want to join your group, at which point I was like, okay, sure. And now we open up to the world map. Yes, please. So we can do heart to hearts. Wait, I can go back to Alarenthia. Interesting. Well, let's go back to Valinor. How about the village? Because there's hidden thingamajiggers. And we should probably, you know, check that there isn't any sort of thing we are missing. Let's see, they did that. Book, him, doing the talky talk, and the betrayal. Milas's house. I mean, technically it's the Elder's house, you know? Okay, maybe not there. Town square. Ah, there we go. Sophie's heart to heart. 1. I look at the water tank, thinking of the vision that started this all. Back then, I thought we could use the water to fight the flames. Little did I know that entire vision was just a trick to bait us. However, that was just the first time I ever laid eyes on Sovy. I'll never forget what he did to me. Killed me without hesitation. But is he different now? Or was he really like that to begin with?
So, this is Valinor. I've heard stories, but never been. Well, unless you count that vision the Triumvirate tricked you with. I must apologize for that. I knew what was going on, and I played along.
How, specifically?
It's not like I could have done anything else. Valinor was too far away. That, and they still had me under their thrall. I was theirs to command. At least I was able to break free. I feel bad for Halen. I truly do.
I was gonna say, you didn't really break free, you were banished. But I guess he did kind of break free when he didn't kill me and take the sword. Looks around the village, around the town square. Looks like he's enamored by Valinor. Almost as if he's looking at a wonder of the world.
I need to ask, what did you think of me? The moment we met in that vision, who was I to you? A mindless slave? A killer? Or perhaps a man who was lost?
I just want a quick save to be like, hey, this. But what I pick normally? Someone who's going about the right thing the wrong way. I'm not sure about the right thing the wrong way. I don't feel like any of those things particularly fit me, you know? Actually, let's do that one since that's a while ago. couldn't get over how attractive you are, especially when you stabbed me. Woo.
Excuse me? Please, don't make jokes like that. I'm being serious here, Monarch. You should be serious too. I really hope the weight of our cause doesn't rest on someone so childish.
So I see you don't have much covering yourself. So is that for easy access to your What? I'm sorry. Shakes his head and looks around the town some more. Let's see, what would I pick?
I need to ask, what did you think of me? The moment we met in that vision, who was I to you? A mindless slave? A killer? Or perhaps a man who was lost?
I feel like that's wrong, and I mean, bad guy?
I guess I was. Oh well, it was worth a shot. I committed atrocities in their name. I feel irredeemable. The fact that you're giving me a chance, that's a true miracle.
I don't like doing the tear thing, but it's like, yeah, when I first saw him, I'm like, you were just kind of a guy that was very, your resistance is not able to resist my resistance. Oh, so let's just check out the thing, because it kind of wasn't him, you know? I don't know.
I need to ask.
Yep, I lost my mouse.
What did you think of me? I guess you're right. But the Triumvirate made that vision. I know they did it to trick you, but I was still a part of it. How they portrayed me would be how they saw me.
As a muhaha. He shakes his head and looks around the town some more. His eyes become fixated on the post office, and he smiles slightly.
A post office? I haven't seen one of those in ages. I couldn't travel much when I was younger, so I collected stamps. The drawings of places around Alestia. That was the closest I ever got.
So wait, you traveled to like Alarinthia and Mazeo and Baltace, and none of them have post offices? How does the mail get around? I mean, yeah, I guess in the old days post offices weren't exactly a thing, but there was mail. He walks towards it, so I make sure to follow him. This is the first time he's ever mentioned anything about his past. It is hard to imagine that he was anything other than the Grand Inquisitor.
But the art never really matches up with the place when you see it in person. I remember collecting the Baltaeus set and being shocked when I actually got there. It's not really a good or a bad difference, it's just interesting to see how they compare.
Yeah, let's just ask him the question.
That's not really something I'd like to talk about right now. Do you mind if I go inside and buy some really quick? It won't take too long, I promise. Just wait for me.
So, a question. Why does your eyes do that thing anyways? I nod and he smiles at me. He runs in the post office and buys some stamps. A look of childish glee is worn on his face when he returns.
Thank you, Monarch. You know what it's like. Sometimes you just need to do something. This is the first time I've truly been free, so I almost couldn't resist. I'll save these, and perhaps we can write each other after the war. You'll be incredibly busy, so I can't expect to earn a lot of your time.
You can't have much time as you want, Sovy. I mean, as long as you don't betray me. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Sorry.
I'm not sure how to respond to that, so I won't. Let's focus on more important things for now.
Okay, I don't think that thing appeared there, so, you know. Meaning I don't think, I'm not sure. Get the blade on my back, and assumes a thinking pose.
You could use some training, couldn't you?
Yes.
Anything to give you an edge in the upcoming battle. I have years of practice, so I can teach you almost everything.
Yeah, the thing is, before that, you and Shane and Guy attacked. We're supposed to be on a training regiment. Apparently, I got accustomed to the blade rather quickly through that attack, being able to hold it without getting all dead. But when it comes to swords abilities, I've had 0 training, and the only actual experience I've had is when you kicked my ass, and then when I made the blade make a shiny thing, and then Org punched me in the face repeatedly.
We shouldn't stay here too long, no. The schedules and all that. If we start training while we travel, it'll be more efficient in the end. We can't waste too much time before setting sail for Balteus.
I nod. It's true. He could teach me a lot about this blade. I feel like I'd be needing a lot of knowledge in the coming days. Perhaps having him join us wasn't a bad idea after all.
Wonderful. Normally, I'd call you an apprentice at this point, but I'm past that. I need to drop the behavior that the Triumvirate taught me. So, you're not an apprentice to me. You're a friend, and I'll help you.
He starts walking away from the town square as he inspects his stamps. It was crazy how different he seems from how he was before. I'm taken aback. But if this was the new him, and not some sort of facade, he'd be welcomed. I wonder if you don't actually do all these heart-to-hearts, if he does, betray you and all that stuff. So, let's see Main Street. Okay. Oh, that seems to be in check. More house. There's an X there.
Hey.
Hey. So, what do you think of my room? Wait, did we completely forget to do this?
Well, it's a huge mess, for one. You should see mine. It's flawless. I'm actually tempted to start cleaning. But I know I shouldn't do that without permission. Last time I did that, I got into a whole mess of trouble. A story for another time, I guess. Or whenever you ask.
You're a really neat freak, huh?
I'm pretty sure that's an understatement. I just can't stand when something is out of place. It drives me insane. It makes me freak out.
Yeah, I guess if we did do this, then maybe mess that.
Don't be offended if you see me messing around. Everything has an order. A perfect place it should be. I just like putting things where they belong.
I guess. Clean wherever you want.
Oh, thank goodness. I was so scared you'd get mad at me. Give me a few minutes. I won't take long. Wait, why is there a sack of grain on the floor? And your cooking area is an absolute mess. This is going to take longer than I thought.
I guess we missed this because there's like 3 books here, and I thought the books were the things. I just hired you to be my maid.
Is that a serious offer? Because, I'm very interested. Even if Milas says that's against the rules. But I'll wait until you make a formal offer. Sometimes I act on impulse and make a fool of myself. There was big trouble last time I cleaned without permission.
What happened last time?
I saw a house so dirty I couldn't resist. It turned out to be Milas' spare study home. Everything was messed up, but with purpose. He said it took him months to recover. I messed with his stuff and threw his studies off. I'll never forgive myself for doing that. He said it was unbecoming of me. I had to look up the word, but I guess it's true. As a scribe in training, I need to show some class.
That's one thing I do hate about living with family. Like, when I'm at... Like, I clean my room when I'm here. All sorts of things. And I'm like, okay, you can, if you want, you can dust and vacuum, but don't do anything else. At which point, they move things around. Like, well, I've been at sea for about a month. I need some papers, and now they're not where they were. And other stuff is not where they were. I don't want you looking under my bed where I keep my unmentionables. Not saying that last thing. I like being swim training.
It's pretty great, actually. Everything is given to me by Valinor. Money, food, a house, you name it. I work with Valessa more than you, though. I'm kind of disappointed about that. We tend to roleplay real scenarios. She'll take on your role, and I'll take on hers. Playing a scribe for a scribe. Best possible training. Unfortunately, I doubt I'll ever be a real one.
Well, you are right now. Time travel's weird.
I don't think there's any protocol for that. But I assume Milas has the final word there. Or whoever the Elder is at any given time. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. But I hope you're not trying to say Valessa is bad. Is there something I'm not seeing here?
Just curious.
Oh, I guess I jumped to conclusions again. I really need to stop doing stuff like that. I hope I was able to help your curiosity, though. We have to obey the rules set in stone by Valenorth. I'm just happy that we all get along with each other. This trio could have been a lot worse, if you ask me.
It's really weird going back in time and doing this. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I really love climbing trees. Aside from that, I love reading and cleaning. It's a simple life here. But I have no problem with it. I have a lot of time off. Way more than Valessa. Honestly, I think I only do half of what she does. Just means I need to keep myself occupied. If you see me with cuts and bruises, don't freak out. I'm pushing myself to the limits, climbing bigger trees. Before you know it, I'll be on top of the Grand Tree.
Maybe I'll join you.
Wait, seriously? That sounds awesome! I'll have to choose something easy then. I don't want to throw you right into it. Valenorth needs you, and I won't screw that up. But it might be fun having an apprentice to teach.
How long have you been training?
About 5 years less than Valessa. After the Triumvirate took over Mazeo, we were scared. So I think it was a worst-case scenario type of thing. Some people say that Mila's father trained him too. That's why he was able to take over so easily. That means he's like me, but for the position of Elder.
I haven't in Museo, I guess.
You must be messing with me. Is this a test? I'd rather not talk about that, if it's all the same. At least approach the subject a little more casually.
Ever thought about a job on the side?
I don't think I'm really allowed to do that. The training I go through is already mentally exhausting. I need to devote my spare time to blowing off steam. Of course, this is under Milas' orders. I'm sure I could handle something if I really wanted, but getting in trouble with him really isn't worth it.
Well, as if you could.
To be honest, I just like helping people. So probably cleaning up here and there, keeping tidy. I consider a day successful if I've made someone else smile. Maybe I could be a problem solver or something. People always need some help, so I'd never go bored. It would always involve something new and exciting. Of course, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Milas says I'm not allowed to do any extra work. Training has to be my most important focus.
Can I offer you some under-the-table work?
That sounds awesome. It really does.
That
But
kinda
I'd never
sounded
hear the
like
end
a
of it from
wooey.
Milas. If I overload my brain with work, I'll slip up. He says I always need to be at the ready. Unfortunately, that leads to a lot of waiting around. Who would have thought too much spare time is an issue? That's why I do things I can always cut short. Climbing a tree? Just hop down and try again later. Cleaning? Just stop. The mess isn't going anywhere.
Pretty harsh of Milas to demand.
I could think of much worse things to do. Considering that, it's not too bad on my end. My life is simple, and there's some beauty in that. You and Valessa always seem so busy. I'd rather stay in my situation than be overworked. I'm sure you cope with it, but I doubt I could. I hope I never have to step up either. That would mean something terrible happened to Valessa. I don't even want to think about that. Let's move on.
You mean like she getting promoted to Elder? Thought I'd quit being a scribe in training.
No, I could never do that to you. You need me, and all of Valenorth needs me. I'm not as important. We're almost as important as the Elder, actually. He even looks to us for guidance sometimes. I love the job. It just has some downsides. I wouldn't mind leaving Valenorth one day. But that's probably just because I'm not allowed to. You know what they say about wanting what you can't have.
Well, you know, we might leave Valinor.
Yeah, it's great here. Sometimes I wish I could leave, but it's dangerous out there. Mazeo is the closest city, and we all know what happened there. Balteus would be way too cold for me, and Dalarinthia would be way too warm. I think we have it perfect right here.
Make time about this.
Well, it's really far up north. The Triumvirate is stationed there. I've heard their castle is amazing, but I don't think too many people live there. From what I've read, it's full of their most loyal subjects. So they're honor guard, and prospective generals. I've heard they have a grand library, though. In Valenorth, my reading material is really limited. I'd say a library like that makes up for the cold.
Tell me about Alarinthia.
The tribal lands, to the far east. I know very little about Alarinthia, except that it's hot. You have to be really strong to live in a place like that. And that's who lives there, mostly. They take strength very seriously.
I know it's kind of weird just
and hold tournaments.
Listening to him.
Fighting is a big deal. It determines who holds the throne.
This stuff that was already in the past, but still it's like,
I'm really
yeah,
only
click
educated
through all
on
the
Valinor
things.
and Mazeo. Maybe someone else could teach you about Alarinthia.
Tell me, Mazeo.
It's the trade hub of Alestia, full of docks and ships. I really hate talking about this, so I'll make it quick. It's been over 20 years since the Triumvirate occupied. They put a trade ban in effect as soon as they did. It doesn't affect me too much, except for a type of apple. My parents used to treat me with them when I was younger. Hopefully one day they remove the stupid ban. They say it keeps order on things, but I'm not sure.
That's
More
interesting.
laws
We've
just
never
means
gotten
more
back
rules
to
break,
that.
right?
It's the
Anyway,
trade ban.
Yeah, Mazeo is a really interesting place. Everyone said the force they used to occupy it was justified. Eliminating piracy and bringing the law to Mazeo was necessary.
Tell me about it.
That would be cool, but I highly doubt it. We have strict orders to remain in Valinor at all times. And Milas isn't the type of guy to let anyone break the rules. It's been this way for thousands of years. I don't think we'll get any special treatment. I mean, we can dream, but it won't really go anywhere.
I'm pretty hopeful, actually.
Oh yeah? What makes you think that? Actually, don't tell me. I don't want to get my hopes up. It took me long enough to come to terms with it the first time.
Well, maybe we'll leave Valinor. You know, like when I walk out the door. Okay, fast travel, world map. Valinor, surrounding region. Okay, East Crown. Ooh, Sovy. Howl. I look off in the distance, already shivering at the extreme cold. I went to visit home one more time before the end. That included East Crown for some reason. We never got to find out what was out there. I started to wondering if we ever will. Not that it's even important. It has nothing to do with our goal or our cause. Just a mystery, one of many left unsolved. He approaches me from behind and looks into East Crown. He seems perplexed, like not even he really knows what's over there. It makes sense. I thought the old monarchy had the ability to survive the cold.
We know this place.
He holds out his hand, feeling the harsh winds.
The fatal cold, death within an hour. No chance of survival. Not like Alarinthia's deserts. We let criminals handle their own end. A mercy. Because of this, it became a very mysterious place. We started to wonder what was out there, if anything. However, until now, we had no way of finding out.
With your immortal body? Till now?
This cold, we feel nothing. It wouldn't harm us to venture forward. Perhaps now is the time to solve this mystery.
Granted, your body might freeze to death still.
How fitting that we would be the first. A monument to death. An execution ground. Monarch, we would like to take a brief break.
How does he know for sure he can survive? He may not feel anything, but the body would still freeze.
Unlikely. We would be shielded by our spirits. They may die, one by one, but we would endure. At the end of it, we would remain largely unchanged. Besides, we were not asking for permission. Do you not share the same curiosity as us?
We don't need to know every answer, but it would be interesting to know of this mysterious place.
We thought so, too. Something about great minds. Perhaps there will be nothing, or perhaps not. It is something we will never know until we try.
Hopefully after the war? Takes a few steps forward and looks down at the ground.
Already, we can feel our power dwindling. The spirits inside come forth to keep us warm. We will hurry and return with minimal damage.
Okay. He starts walking away, powered by his curiosity. I guess he couldn't resist solving a mystery of the world. I don't blame him. He was also uniquely qualified to do so. Just like how I'm the heir to the throne, I'm the only one. I guess he's just embracing his calling, much like I did. But East Crown? Would there even be anything over there? Could be. Click. Let's say something important inside East Crown. It's too mysterious. There had to be something there. I mean, realistically, no, but this is anime, you know? And now, we'd finally find out. It's rather exciting. Out of my thoughts, in my mind, until Howl returns. He shows no signs of wear and walks as strong as ever. It's hard to get a read on his face. There's no emotion on display.
We don't understand. For a while, there was nothing. But then, we saw something interesting.
Ask him to elaborate, my curiosity taking control.
East Crown is ice. There's no water anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. We saw a ship, crashed, broken, frozen among the ice. A ship, sailing in ice. This is backwards. But we think that perhaps this is okay. Backwards, just like our thoughts.
Now he's lost me.
The future? Or perhaps the past. This new outlook changes almost everything. Do not worry, Monarch. We were harmed in no way.
Glad?
As we said, spirits inside kept us warm. A self-sacrifice that helped us brave the cold. A noble end. We are lesser now, but only slightly, and it is an interesting feeling. What we saw in East Crown is of no real importance. However, it has conjured up a spark in our minds. A spark that we must discuss promptly in Mazio. There are some final matters to take care of before the end. Thanks for coming here, Monarch. If anything, it benefits us. I'm sorry if this wasn't what you expected, but that's not always a bad thing.
I nod. As long as he found some sort of benefit in his trip. Before our final battle, everybody needed to be committed to the cause. One error, one slip-up could cost us all our lives. We had to be resolute. But I wonder, what could he want to talk about so suddenly? The future? Thinking backwards? Something was definitely bothering him. I have to do my duty, as his leader, to quell any worry before we launch our attack. Loading scenes available. I wonder if that might be a reference to the other game, because I heard they might be linked somehow. How specifically is unknown. Okay, how about the Valinor Forest? Okay. How about this place? Because I think that was before Pellegrino. Nope, nothing here. Okay, how about Pellegrino? How about inside Pellegrino? How about inside this place? Oh, good news, guy that's here. We might not need to turn your tavern into a barracks. Which, you know, because we ran out of dudes. Though on the downside, that still means you're going to probably lose your tavern anyways, because loss of business. Well, I guess people still would travel, you know? Yeah. I don't have to do them in some specific order, which might take a while to find out. Oh, it's fine if we're a bit over time. As I wander the town square of Museo, I notice Sovy checking out the market stalls. He seems completely engrossed by everything, like he finally has time to stop and look. It makes sense. Until now, it's likely he was always on a mission for the Triumvirate. After exploring the markets for a while, he approaches me. It doesn't look like he bought anything. He was just looking around.
So many useless items. People actually buy these things. Back in Balteus, I got used to having the bare minimum. Anything more than that is a pointless luxury. A waste. Yet, I must say, some of it does have a certain appeal. There were some very unique writing utensils. I might look into them. Not that I fancy myself a writer or anything. They just caught my eye.
Points to a nearby alleyway, twists his head towards it.
Would you follow me into that alley, Monarch? I think we need to get away from all of these people.
Sure thing. That's alone in an alley? You think I trust you that much already?
Stop it. That's not what I meant. It's about that blade. I know a trick or two. I think I can teach you while we have a moment.
Okay, that's even more suspicious. Not saying another word, he walks into the back alley. I follow after him, ready to learn more about the Blade of Exodus. When we arrive, I start to ask him questions, mainly about its origin.
I couldn't tell you. It's a mystery, even to me. Perhaps they stole it from the monarchy before they took over. I've heard that they had visions too, much like the blade can supply. If that's not the truth, then perhaps they made it themselves. But I'm starting to think they either stole it or stumbled upon it. Stealing isn't above them, as we've all been made aware of.
He shakes his head, as if he's upset that he can't sate my curiosity. That's fine. Perhaps it's something we'd find out when we went to Balteus.
This is probably the first trick I should teach you.
He holds out a closed fist, and my blade soon appears in his hand. Yeah, I would like to wield it like a keyblade as well. I've seen that happen several times, almost like he can summon it at any time.
You have to be near the blade for it to work, but it's useful. Disarming your enemy is a viable tactic in battle, so be ready. They will try to take the blade away from you because of its power.
I nod.
Go ahead. Hold out your hand and reach for the blade. Not with your body, but with your mind. See if it works.
Close my eyes and hold out my hand. Sylvie immediately chastised me with the blunt side of the blade. Hitting against my hand, I wince slightly and shake away the pain.
No, never close your eyes in battle. Did you not learn anything about combat in Valinor?
Didn't he say close eyes?
If you did that in a real battle, you'd be dead in mere seconds.
I guess it's some kind of trick thing. I shrug.
Now do it again, and look me in the eye. I have no use for you if you can't follow directions.
Doing as instructed, I look him in the eye. I focus as hard as I can and try to summon the blade. After a few seconds, nothing happens. Nothing at all.
Try harder, like your life depends on it. Because when you need to do this, it will.
I scoff softly, but try not to break the gaze. He squints as if he's judging my movements. After even more time, nothing happens.
I guess you need a little incentive.
Without any warning, he reaches behind himself. Pulling out a dagger from the leather straps on his back, he attacks me. I take a defensive stance. Before he can harm me, I have the possession of the blade. It appears in my hand at the perfect angle and positioned to deflect Sovy's assault. His dagger is in a deadlock with the blade, and he pushes me back against the alley wall.
So, it's your fear that powers you.
Great fear. After a few moments, he backs off and puts away the dagger.
I was the same, until I mastered my fears. Then the blade responded to my willpower, my resolve. It can learn and grow just as much as you can, Monarch. If you learn to remain calm in the face of battle, you'll do fine. Without fear to rely on, the blade will find something else. What that is, however, is different from person to person. I'm eager to see what kind of person you become. For now, let's continue on our way. No more wasting time. When we have another moment together, I can teach you more.
He smiles and leaves the alleyway. I remain there by myself. It's hard not to be scared, given the situation and the upcoming battle. But if mastering those emotions made me better wielder, then I had to try. I leave the alleyway and replay the recent events in my mind. My eye trails over to the drawing utensils that Sovy pointed out earlier. I wonder for a moment if I could get him a gift. Thank you for the lessons. You can get him as not a romantic gesture, you know? I don't have to bang the fluffy circle. Well, let's just get it for him. Seems harmless, stopping by them on the way to the town square. I have to find the right chance to give it to him. It might take a while. But after that was said and done, it was time to get on my way. And with that, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So anyways, please comment, cause I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay and or neuter your animals to help control the pet population. So is there going to be anything else with Grizz? He seemed to be pretty important until the time he almost died. You know? And until next time on Let's Play, me, le GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change, a game where we fluster people. So thanks and see ya.